Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of ADMAIL. This is Adam Bergman, founder and CEO of IRA Financial. I'm here to help you find the answers to the most frequently asked questions from my clients about self-directed retirement accounts. If you want to learn more, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Just search IRA Financial. Hi everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial, and welcome to another episode of ADMAIL. Happy New Year's. Hope everyone's having a great 2023. And I got a great episode for you today. We're going to talk about SEP IRAs, self-directed IRAs, prohibited transactions involving ex-spouses, and an investment into a venture capital fund with a self-directed IRA. So really fun episode for you today. So without further ado, let's get started. First question. All these questions are from YouTube. So this is kind of like a YouTube oriented episode. Got three really good YouTube questions, and it turned out they were all in queue. So here they are. Can I use a SEP IRA to do a self-directed IRA, or do I have to use a traditional IRA? So that's a great question. I get this a lot, where people seem to think that only a traditional IRA can do a self-directed IRA. No, a SEP IRA, a Roth IRA, a simple IRA, traditional IRA as well, of course, can do a self-directed IRA. Now, a self-directed IRA simply means an IRA, just like an IRA you can get at Schwab or Fidelity, that allows for alternative asset investments. So going back all the way to 1974, when IRAs were created, there was no distinction between IRAs and self-directed IRAs. The tax code said there's only three things you cannot do with an IRA: life insurance, collectibles, and then under Internal Revenue Code section, any transaction involving the IRA and a disqualified person. A disqualified person is defined as the IRA owner, their lineal descendants, parents, children, spouse, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, or any entities controlled 50% or more by such persons. Otherwise, you can do it. Now, the traditional institutions, the banks, don't want you to do alternative assets with your IRA simply because they don't make money when you buy real estate or lend money to your neighbor. They make money when you buy their products, i.e. equities, mutual funds, ETFs. So that is why there is a division between the traditional IRA, or traditional in the sense of investments, and self-directed IRAs. But the self-directed IRA is not a term you'll find in the tax code really anywhere inside any tax, IRS tax regulations. It simply means an IRA that invests in alternative assets. So yes, to answer the question, an IRA, a Roth IRA, a SEP IRA, and a simple IRA can invest in alternative assets through a quote-unquote self-directed IRA. So thank you for that question. Second question, again from YouTube. My ex-spouse and I are very close. Can I lend him money with my self-directed IRA? So the answer is yeah. Why? As I went through the disqualified person definition in the previous question, there's three things you cannot do with an IRA: life insurance, collectibles like art, and thirdly, in the broadest category, any transaction involving the IRA and a disqualified person. And again, a disqualified person is a parent, child, spouse, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, or any entities controlled by such person. An ex-spouse is not a spouse anymore, right? There is a change in status. So technically, yes, you can transact and lend money to an ex-spouse so long as you or your kids or your joint family does not benefit. So if your ex-spouse needs some money for his business, as long as that money is not going to go back and help the kids, buy a new car or something that indirectly or directly benefits your disqualified person. When I say you, I mean the spouse who's lending the spouse, your ex-spouse, excuse me, the ex-spouse who's lending the ex-spouse the IRA funds. As long as there's no indirect benefit to that ex-spouse who's using the IRA, then there's nothing in the code that would prevent two ex-spouses from transacting with each other since they're no longer disqualified. So really cool question, actually. And I actually have had that come up a couple of times, believe it or not. I have a client, nice lady, who's like best friends with her ex-spouse. And I always get these types of questions like, hey, my ex-spouse needs this or that. Are you sure I can use my IRA? And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty refreshing to kind of hear about your relationship, how you're still best friends, but you are no longer married. But obviously, the spouse needs to be an ex. It can't be a spouse because then that would be a prohibited transaction. Third and final question on today's pod. Again, from YouTube. My son is a GP, general partner in a venture capital fund. He owns less than 35% of the GP and less than 1% of the LP, limited partners. Can I use my self-directed IRA to invest as an LP? Great question. The answer, again, just to get right to it, is yeah. Why? Again, this is a prohibited transaction and YouTube-focused podcast. Aren't these great questions? Really good ones. And they actually flow really nicely. It's kind of flukish. Usually the three questions have nothing to do with each other. These actually flow really nicely. Wondering if they're the same person, but in any event, they're really good. So 3 things you can't do in an IRA. Otherwise, you can do it. Life insurance. This is not life insurance. Collectible is not collectibles. And thirdly, when an IRA, so long as an IRA does not invest with a disqualified person, or as long as the IRA asset does not directly or indirectly personally benefit a disqualified person. And again, for the record, disqualified person is defined as the IRA owner, parents, children, spouse, father-in-law, son-in-law, or any entities controlled 50% or more ownership by disqualified people. So we know here is a situation where we have the father and son. Father is going to use IRA funds to invest in an entity where the son has involvement. So again, first threshold is 50%. Is the son 50%? No, he's under 50% as a GP. What's a GP? The GP is the entity or person sometimes, but generally an entity like an LLC or a general partner that makes the investment decisions and manages the venture capital fund. Most funds, the GP gets a management fee anywhere from, let's say, 1 to 2%, and also gets what's called a carry interest, which is generally 20% of the profits above a threshold, or in the hedge fund world, just 20% of the net profits. So in this case, the dad is investing not in the GP, but he's investing as a limited partner, just like you and I technically could. So because his son owns less than 1% of the LP and less than 50% of the GP, it's very hard for the IRS to argue that there's any type of prohibited transaction here. The son doesn't control the GP, does not control the LP. As long as the IRA is making the investment to directly benefit the IRA, and there is no way any type of conflict of interest, like, oh, I need to get family members to invest. And if I don't get a family member to invest, I lose my job or I lose my ability to be a general partner. Kind of off the cuff type of stuff that generally doesn't happen. But you want to make sure ultimately that the father is investing his IRA funds as a limited partner in this fund to benefit 100% and exclusively the IRA, not in any way directly or indirectly to benefit his son. So as long as he can do that, and there's no kind of wonky way that this investment is somehow helping his son, even though he owns less than 1% of the LP, less than 50% of the general partner, should be fine, right? Could an IRS agent come in here and say, hey, the son is indirectly benefiting, this investment by the dad will help him? Probably not. I mean, I'm assuming it's a big fund since the son only owns less than 1% of the limited partner. So I'm assuming the dad's not going to he's not going to be investing 10, 15, 20% of the value of the fund. If it's a small investment, clearly, I would believe the son would be able to show that there would be other investors in line that would be willing to make that investment. The flip side, if the dad is the last man standing and without the dad's money, the fund dissipates and falls apart, then yeah, I guess based off those facts, the IRS could argue it is potentially prohibited and a conflict of interest since the dad would not be making the investment to personally benefit or to benefit the IRA exclusively, but would be doing that to benefit his son. But that's why it's super important whenever I discuss fact-specific transactions in one of these podcasts. It's always important to say, hey, this is facts and circumstances specific. My answer to this question would be different based off different facts, right? If the dad said, I need to make the investment, or my son loses his job, or I'm putting 50% or more in, that changes my analysis, right? So the first thing is you got to be under 50%. The second thing, you got to make sure the IRA is making the investment to 100% exclusively benefit the IRA. There's no direct or indirect benefit to a disqualified person, in this case, his son. And then obviously the dad's paying the value, fair market value for that interest in the limited partnership. Shouldn't be any discount. It should be fair value in terms of what other investors would be investing and what we paying at the same time for the same type of investment. So that's it. That's another ADMAIL in the bag. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought today was fun. Questions kind of flowed. I'm going to try to do that in the future more often. It's kind of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to visit with me again next Thursday. This is a weekly podcast that drops every Thursday. You can obviously find it wherever you found this podcast. If you want to watch it, you can do it too on YouTube. Just go to IRA Financial, and obviously do not forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, because there's amazing self-directed content. I promise you will become a much, much better and wiser self-directed retirement investor by simply watching videos on the free IRA Financial YouTube channel. So do not miss the chance. It's fun. And you know what? If you can't sleep, it's also fun, right? I'll put you to sleep. And you potentially will learn something as well. But sometimes I do kind of run on in tangents, just because as a tax lawyer, someone that's been involved in the self-directed retirement space for 13 plus years, I love this stuff. This is my passion. I've written 8 books on self-directed retirement topics. So yeah, sometimes I do go crazy and just kind of can't stop talking. But at that point, just tune me out. But otherwise, I promise there are some nuggets of information here that will help you maximize your retirement savings and become a better self-directed retirement investor. So without further ado, I'm going to sign off on that. Have an amazing day. Happy New Year. And see everyone again next Thursday. Take care.